We've got 135, and who was the other one?
66.
All right, in 66, hang on there, Jim, and we'll be right to you. 135, you have radio. I'm losing all my papers here. You have Radio 11 tonight. Cliff, give us the transmission. Tell us what you got.
Okay, as you may have guessed, this is for Browning. SWL 135 here on the Browning Golden Eagle. I believe this is Series 2 Browning Golden Eagle. R68, T68, that's the R68 receiver, T68 transmitter. Audio provided by the static D104 Golden Eagle microphone. With matches the Browning stuff, Brown Coily Court from Laconia, New Hampshire.
Yeah, Browning Laboratories. There's still a lot of, you type it on the web, there's still some Browning prices around. I don't know if it's Laconia or not, or if it's an offshoot of that, but still a lot of information on those radios. Nice, crisp, clear audio. For those of us like myself wearing headphoniums, it's like, whoa. It's got to put a little cotton in the ears or something. Sounds good though, and hopefully the receive is making me sound good.
Yeah, the receive is doing well on this thing. I don't have to use an external speaker or anything on it. I just use the Eagle covered speaker. How do you describe that? The Eagle medallion covered speaker. It's got the metal Eagle thing on the receiver speaker. 23 channels, crystal controlled transmit on the transmitter. 23 and change on the receiver with the VFO. One of my favorite radios, and it appears to be working. I'm going to assume because you're responding to me that it is.
Well, as someone's German boss used to say, it's working, and working well for Radio 11. Browning Golden Eagle R68, T68, I guess possibly the Series 2, but one of the grandiose radios of its time, not only in size, but I think if you were walking into the electronics store back in the 60s, in price as well. But then you got what you paid for. You got the sound of the Eagle and all 23 channels typically, I think with that one for sure, and the status of the ping. All right, speaking of the ping, let's hear it one more time before we move forward.
I didn't come out the way I wanted. Oh well, it'll have to do. Now the Browning Golden Eagle coming at you here on Channel 11.
And yes, there is a certain finesse to keying up that radio to get your very own signature, if you will, on the ping. And I think you definitely did a good job there for the SWL. Thanks, Cliff, sounding good. And who was next? That would be 66. He's working the room tonight. Mr. Witch Doctor, you are going to be Radio 12. Tell us what you got.
Hey, Roger, there, Dennis. This is Old Faithful, Lafayette, Comstat 25B.
All right, from Lafayette, the Comstat 25B. I was on the QRZ website today, and somebody had a Lafayette. I didn't know they made it, but it was the standard SWR meter that everybody had for CB, the one that's kind of elongated with the meter in the front, the black dial, and the SO239 in the front. And it was from Lafayette, and the Lafayette box and the Lafayette papers for it, the Lafayette receipt. And I think it was from about 1974-75. And of course, as you might remember, the Lafayette store here in town, here in Fresno, I think it was around until 76 or 77. So I don't know if that radio ever made it through that shop or not, but we're glad it's making it through the Tube Radio Network tonight. Radio 12, give us another transmission, Jim, on the Comstat 25B.
Yes, sir, Dennis. No, this one never came from here. It was my dad's over on the coast there at Tuscadero. Anyway, he's had it since it's new, and now it's mine. But got all the mobile bracket, and the power cord, the hand mic, all that junk. Anyway, it's never missed a lick. Still working today. Haven't touched it other than clean it up. All the original Lafayette tubes and everything. I'm running a non-amp D104 on this one with the, this one has a range boost, so the range boost is on.
Oh yeah, forgot about the extra little item there, range boost circuitry, allowing you to get a little bit louder if you wanted to. Of course, if you put on the amplified microphone, didn't need to, or adjust the amplified mic for the range booster. You've done it well. Sounds good. And a big difference between the 25, or the 25A, I guess, and the 25B. The 25B, a much more modern, whatever that means for 40 years ago, but a more contemporary style on the radios, and sounding good. Nice audio. All right, we'll go back to you one more time for a key up, and our first radio of our second hour, 903, the Lafayette Comstat 25B. You sounding good, Jim? Give us a transmission. We'll be listening.
Hey, yes, sir, there, Dennis. Yeah, Dad always ran a power D104 on it, but I've got that on the other radio there, the Sonar. So I had to run the non-amp on this one, so I'm glad it sounded good. All right, I think we got one or two more to warm up, so I'll get back out of the way. And breaker.
Okay, the first breaker, I think I recognize as 37. Go ahead. Okay, that is totally weird. Yeah, I hear you, but it sounds... If you've ever heard someone who's running a modulator where you have no carrier, where you're totally controlled, suppressed carrier AM, that's what that radio is doing. It sounds like you're running a modulator that's not quite tuned up properly. So the audio is a bit on the distorted side, but it's basically just forward swing. When you don't talk, there's no signal. When you talk, there's plenty of signal. So that's interesting. I wonder if there's a component part or a tube or something that's not quite happy. Key it up again. I don't know if you can tell from the meters or not if it's doing something weird, but that's exactly what it's doing. It's going into a suppressed carrier mode on the transmit. Over. Okay, well, that was a modification some of the guys used to do on the Johnsons, on the white face and black face. They would do something, and they put the radio into a controlled carrier, so it would be just totally swing. Typically, the audio would sound a little bit better. Like I said, it's distorting your audio, but it sure makes it sound loud. In fact, probably a lot of people are going to tell you sound overmodulated. Now, whether that's the case or not, I don't know. It's being certainly be more pronounced because of the way the carrier is being kind of thrown out. It's almost like you're on sideband. But there may be a way to tame that beast if you want to keep it like that. But the fact that for all those years it hadn't been doing that, there is something that has changed a bit. But still transmitting, and exactly what you're seeing is what we're seeing. Is definitely in a suppressed carrier mode. The general radio telephone, Super MC11A, radio number 13, and kind of in a different mode tonight. But anyway, give us another transmission. We know it's working, but it's doing something different. Yeah, still sounding good after all these years. Radio 13 tonight. And that is the General Radio Telephone Super MC11A. Thank you, Chris, for bringing that by. There was another station breaking for the old Tube Radio Network. We're listening for you now. Go ahead.
Number 50, checking another Lafayette. Comstat 25B hybrid.
Okay, curious to know about the hybrid part. Let me go ahead and log you in as radio number 14 at 9:08. And man, those Lafayettes sound good. I have a possible for Net Control 25 Bravo, maybe sometime this year. And if it sounds anything like what yours sounded like or what Jim sounded like, I will be very happy to run that as a Net Control station. So tell us about the hybrid part, over.
Well, that's good to hear. I've checked this in before. I didn't know it was going to work. It's been about 5 months since I warmed it up here, but somebody's taken an old Cobra channel selector and crystal kit that's got the little tiny channel selector with the numbers you can barely see, and put it into the front of the radio and wired it in, and now it's a 40-channel radio.
All right, that is a little modification there, and a good one at that. So hopefully it doesn't distract too much from what's going on, but sounding good and very, very beefy. Loud audio. I was going to say, man, are you on a buddy or something? But it sounds good. I know there's a range boost. I'm going to say you've got it on, but you've probably got some amplified microphones going on too.
Oh, of course. Range boost is on. I don't know if it's going to matter much, but that's off.
Okay. Didn't hear a difference, but that's not uncommon. A lot of times those switches get dirty and you'll have them on, they'll be off. You'll have them off, they'll be on. But wherever it's at, it's good. No need to touch a thing. Radio 14, glowing in the dark. Of course, the way we like it here on the old Tube Radio Network, the Lafayette Comstat 25